What will happen when Abel falls in love at dusk? Abel shows Simmons his medication skills. He looks in the mirror and dresses himself up. He styles his hair with spit instead of wax. Finds Simmons. They danced together, fed. The pigeons drank from the same glass. Walked on the beach together. He went to the store to get Simmons a birthday present. Unable to afford a hat, he bought Simmons a scarf. Homer came to the store and forced Abe to go see the lions. The safety locks locked the car doors. Homer drove over a bumpy road. He almost hit the lion. The Simpsons were stuck in a mud puddle in their car. It was time for their date. Abe was still trapped in the lion's den. They weren't rescued until the next day. Arriving at the nursing home, Abe learned that Simmons was dead. At the funeral, Abe couldn't accept that Simmons was gone. He took his anger out on Homer. At night, Abe held a picture of Simmons in his arms. The rain from the roof dripped on the photo. The lawyer took out the inheritance that Simmons had left Abe. He took the money to the store and bought the hat. He got in his car and went to the wrestling club. The noise couldn't paralyze him. He even went on a roller coaster, but it still cannot alleviate the longing for Simmons. Suddenly he saw Simmons' spirit. Simmons told him that Homer missed him, so Abe went home to Homer. What will happen when the Simpsons build a tennis court? He'll stand on the net and play. He'll get laughed at. The ball that will still be fired by Lau Mock knocked down to the ground. Marge is in the store. I heard everyone mocking their football skills. The next day Marge took Homer to practice. Homer threw the racket into the serve machine. He told Marge that to prove they weren't losers. He signed up for the pairs tournament. He starts training for the tournament. Next thing you know, he's hitting his pants in Marge's hair. He handed his racket to Bart. Bart and Marge started training. He prepares his uniform for the tournament. The next day, Homer came downstairs in his uniform. He sees Bart in his uniform. Marge tells him that she and Bart have become partners. Bart drags Marge off to the tournament. Homer gets down on the ground and pulls on her socks. He also angrily smashes the car window.
I don't think they saw me.
Marge and Bart managed to win the trophy. Marge opened the door and came home to see Homer breaking his tennis racket. Marge went to comfort him.
Don't touch me.
He ran upstairs in grief. At night, in his sleep, he dreamed Bart had made a taxidermy of him in order to be with Marge. He woke up terrified, looking at the picture of Bart on his bed. The next day, he found Lisa to be his partner, and asked Lisa to knock down. What happens when Homer becomes a man-eating monster? A meteorite hits the Simpsons. The core of the meteorite is eaten by the gluttonous Homer. He struggles to swallow it. However, the liquid flows out of his nose. He sucks it in hard, and it comes out again. This time Homer sucked it in as hard as he could. At night, Homer was hungry. He went to the refrigerator and ate all the food. But he was still hungry, so he shoved a sleepy Bart in his mouth. Luckily, Marge shows up to stop him. After Homer put Bart down, his stomach got weird. He started out on the street looking for food. He sees a group of teens and drools. One of the teens accidentally falls into the fire. Homer lifts the teen straight up and puts him in his mouth. He started eating them one by one. Walking down the street, he picks up and eats everyone in the store. He could even stuff several people in one bite. Oversized shirts were put on him. He was all over the television. He tore open buses and put passengers in his mouth. That's when his family arrived. Homer apologized to Marge and said he was willing to contribute to society. After that, a homeless shelter appeared on the street. Hobos flocked in. Even the reluctant were stuffed. However, the shelter was Homer's stomach. Homer licks his finger contentedly.